Hi, Caroline.
Hi, Gab.
Hi, Erin.
Hi.
Caroline and I have thought a lot about the idea that in post-COVID, we've got to really entice people back to the store, back into the restaurant, back to the high street. And we've heard a lot, and retailers talked a lot about retail theater. But we know that retailers don't often think outside the box. And what we're trying to do in this video series is encourage people not only to think outside the box, but to throw the box out the window completely. And how better to get some new ideas about how to represent the brand in a really brilliant way physically than to talk to someone like Erin. Erin is an immersive theater director, and she's a video editor, and she's a brilliant creative.
Thank you so much for spending your time and giving us your ideas here. What are you actually working on right now? Can you tell us in a few words what's keeping you busy?
Yeah, I've got a lot of projects cooking, but the one that I'm most excited about is an immersive slumber party slated to open in London in the fall, where the audience shows up dressed in their pajamas for Zach and Zoe's 12th birthday party. And it's like a 90s house in a cul-de-sac, and you come and you knock on the door and you go in, and then hijinks ensue. And of course, there are drinks. It's for grown-ups, but yeah, just like it's nostalgic comedy.
So when you think about the process of bringing, since it is immersive theater, you've got the audience as a character plays a huge role in how the whole interaction and experience rolls out. If you think about retailers and brands and they are trying to bring people into the store, how would you and how do you approach the role of defining what the role of your audience is and what role you want them to play in this whole experience? How do you approach that when you start to think about a new show that you're putting on?
I mean, the role of the audience really varies show to show. I think the most important thing on that topic, though, is just to make sure that the audience really understands what their role is. So particularly with immersive theater, it's like, okay, can I participate, or am I just here to observe this cool world? And so it's more comfortable for the audience if they know what their role is, and it's a better experience for everybody if you just make that really clear at the outset. But I think about, what kind of experience do I want them to have at the end of the day, and just kind of work backwards from that.
And, a lot of retailers obviously have a specific target audience in mind when they design their product or their merchandising or so on. Do you visualize a particular member of the audience when you design the theater experience?
Yeah, and each experience I really design for 3 types of audience. So there's your ideal audience member who's going to be really into it and do everything that you want them to and like go in for all the extra details. Then there's the person that is too drunk and you have to just do damage control. It's like, okay, how do I protect the staff? How do I protect the artist and not let this person like destroy it for everybody? And then there are always people who didn't buy the ticket and they show up like in the wrong outfit, or they've just come from work, and you can convert them and they can really enjoy it, but they don't have all the same info other people do. So usually the ticket buyer really knows what's going on, but then there's always this poor person that's like, wait, what am I doing? What is this? And so I try to make sure that, we're helping that person be able to really enjoy the experience and, get into it just as much as your ideal audience member.
So it's interesting because you could map that onto people who are walking past a store and don't know anything about the brand, but are somehow compelled to come in, versus somebody who's a loyalist and who is either in there all the time or online all the time and really understands and knows the brand. So you have to create an environment that speaks to both. And so on the one hand, I've been in stores where the story is being told in many different places, and in some ways it's overkill because you just think, oh, God, okay, I know this, don't talk to me like I'm an idiot. But then on the other, you understand you have to really describe what this brand is about. But you mentioned a good way to write immersive theater is to really understand the moment, speak in the present tense, and don't say too much, but say just enough. So how do you think brands could adapt that to a retail environment?
Yeah, I mean, I think the old adage in theater is show me, don't tell me. Mm-hmm. And so brands can certainly do that. It's if you can create the environment and let the world speak to the audience, you know, a picture is worth 1,000 words and an environment is worth more than that. So if they can just walk in and get the vibe immediately, that will tell you a lot. And then, you know, whenever you actually need to use words and have a person talking to you, it should be very spare and streamlined. Yeah, people can glaze over really quickly. Yeah.
And have you found, like, what are the details, the little details that make a difference, if there are any?
Yeah, I think giving people a spot to acclimate to the environment before they get shoved right in is really important. So if you have a foyer or a lobby, and you know, so it can be decked out and look like the world you're going to enter, but it's just a little breathing space for them to kind of, okay, even if it's just I leave my coat here and I can kind of hear what's happening on the other side, you know, before you go all the way in. And then, yeah, making sure they know what their role is and making that really clear. So yeah, do I need to find somebody to help me through this? Do I just go in and it's free range, I can do whatever I want? You know, do I interact with the actors? Where are the bathrooms? Where are the drinks? So like just getting, you know, all the admin really clear. And if you can do that in a way that's fun and in character, that's great because you're still setting the scene and it's still part of the experience.